This is titled Korean Canadian Christian Young Adults Attitude Toward Mental Health Issues and Services. Why is this thesis important for me? Most Korean Canadian Christian young adults grew up with Korean Canadian Christian parents, many of whom encounter their own and their children's mental health issues. Parents intended to figure them out in the context of their faith and or cultural understanding. But some parents consult mental health professionals. Korean Canadian Christian young adults exposure to diverse influences shape their attitude toward mental health services. This thesis has helped me understand these young adults' attitude and through their experiences, their parents' attitude to mental health issues and services. This understanding helps me to develop cross-cultural therapeutic confidence, useful concepts regarding appropriate mental health education, along with an integrated spiritual and psychotherapeutic approach for them and their parents. This thesis informs me about Korean-Canadian barriers to and bridges toward mental health services. Accessing mental health services is neither a matter of shame nor of weakness. Rather, it helps people to regain well-being as they address mental health issues. Emphasizing mental health is not optional, but mandatory for all of us because while mental health is an invisible quality, it produces visible, healthy personal life expressions. For instance, my research participant, Chris says, I understand mental health to be the wellness of your mind, your ability to think, and your ability to make decisions or have relational interactions without being negatively impacted. Isabel says that if people feel good about themselves, they should be stable, nurtured, and encouraged by these positive feelings. She says that when people have emotional stability, they create a balance between cautious behaviors and purposeful living. What surprised me in this research? Most research participants said that the Korean community needs mental health services for their parents and other elders. Also, participants are willing to support their parents accessing mental health services when the parents needed to do so. But most of their fathers did not want to receive these services, even if needed, because they would not admit having mental health issues and were afraid of losing control of family leadership and dignity. A few participants themselves are reluctant to access mental health services because being diagnosed with mental health illness. Seeing a psychiatrist generates fear within them. This fear can be from several factors, including labeling, uncertainty, and residual cultural shame. Most research participants did not want to follow Korean cultural values when they are young teenagers, but later came to appreciate their parents' sacrifice for them and also those values. These young adults struggled to shape with their identity. There are communication difficulties in home involving both language and culture. Research participants then related how he felt a stranger in this society, even though he was a nursing professional, because of cultural gap with his Caucasian co-workers. When they talked about their childhood experiences, even the language they used was unfamiliar to him. Participants are well aware of the contemporary Canadian understanding of mental health issues and services. Most participants focus on negative aspects of South Korean attitude toward mental health issues and services, even though current positive South Korean attitude toward mental health issues and services exist or are developing. This may be a result of their unfamiliarity with recent developments there. What would be significant contribution from my thesis to counseling centers and cross-cultural counseling? Our beloved country describes itself in terms of its mosaic culture. Many Canadian-born children have parents who are born and raised outside of Canada. My thesis can contribute by identifying Korean, Canadian, Christian young adults, attitude toward mental health issues and services in terms that other professional service providers can understand. Also, their parents' attitude have been similarly analyzed. I hope that counseling centers can become more aware of the Korean cultural facet in the Canadian mosaic, that they will develop fully multicultural approach to mental health services. Counselors and psychotherapists, of course, have their own cultures. Therefore, active listening on their part in order to understand, respect clients' cultures is essential to build up a competent therapeutic process. Psychotherapists should also be aware of client spirituality because it is a useful connection to enhancement with many clients. This thesis integrates the Christian perspective of mental health issues with spiritual care and psychotherapy. Participants, their family members, Korean church members, and pastors can better understand mental health issues and mental health services, so as to access mental health services with less stigma. Thank you to my thesis committee members who have read and given very helpful and kind feedback. I really appreciate everyone's presence with me today. As one of my committee members said, today is my stopping time, but I realize it is also a new beginning. Thank you.